Arizona Cardinals battle Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. It's the grand finale of Super Wild Card Weekend on Monday Night Football. And ball tonight.
SoFi Stadium in Hollywood Park, just 12 miles from Hollywood. So as you would expect, celebrities, the A-listers in the house, like Will Ferrell. There's Mia Hamm. Omar's got to be nearby. There he is. Garcia Parra. Sugar Ray in the house tonight.
There we go.
And there's Gabby and Dwayne. Thought they were on Kiss Cam for a second. That's them, not us. We said the Cardinals struggled down the stretch, right? I mean, they had a 2-game lead in the West with 5 to play, and they lost 4 of the 5. How about the impact coming into this one?
Yeah, certainly they've got to get their mojo back, and they lost last week against Seattle. It didn't look good, but they had a lot of injuries defensively. I expect a much more spirited attempt from them on the defensive side in particular.
Yeah, look, I think the Cardinals right now, the return of J.J. Watt, I cannot emphasize enough how important that is just from a professionalism perspective. And that's not to say they didn't have great leadership already. Rodney Hudson, A.J. Green, all those guys were brought in here by Steve Keim for that. But I'll tell you what, look, J.J.'s different, man. He's different. To be playing tonight after his shoulder basically exploded, that's a different kind of dude. To be able to come out here and strap it up and play in a game of this magnitude, I expect him to really show up.
Then there are the Rams. They were coasting down the stretch until the finale. Had the 2 seed locked up, then they blow a 17-3 halftime lead. They wound up in the 4 spot. They still win the division, but that's a very quiet championship division room after that game.
Yeah, and that was a gut punch. That's their rival, the 49ers, and the way that they lost that game, giving it up at the end. But Matthew Stafford has confidence in their response tonight. They have to come out and run the football. It cannot be dropped back 45 times for Matthew Stafford. They have got to get that run game going. And if they get up, that's when they can have that pass rush start to tee off.
Yeah, they are much better. Since we last saw them, when we saw them in San Francisco, and San Francisco really put a beating on them up there at their home field, they really kind of revamped their offense. They really got Matthew under center a lot more, really emphasized the running game with Sony Michel, and now they look like a totally different type of offense.
NFC West division rivals meeting for the 3rd time this season. They split, each winning on the road. The Rams won the toss and have deferred. So the Cardinals will get the football first. That's Rondale Moore. How about the rookie out of Purdue? Good stare into his eyes. Matt Gay ready to kick it away. We get ready. Let's set it down to Michael Buffer.
The most famous announcer in the world, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the NFL playoffs, and this is Monday Night Football. For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
Buccaneers need an opponent next Sunday. We're about to find out over the course of the next 3 hours who that'll be. Arizona or Los Angeles. And here comes Kyler Murray. Success this season against the Rams in the 2 meetings. Over 300 passing yards, 50 rush yards. He said, I've been preparing myself all week, telling myself to settle down, not make it bigger than what it is. It's football. I'm going to go out there and let it ride. On 1st down and 10. On the ground, Chase Edmonds gets the first carry, and he's sent flying back by A'Shawn Robinson. get to the Star Watch, and there are plenty of stars on display.
Yeah, we talked about James Conner in the open. He's going to be definitely a factor. Zach Ertz has to be a factor as well.
Kyler. Darrell Daniels, shy of the 30. Leonard Floyd made sure of that. Pick up a 2.
I think you're going to see some of this tempo from Arizona, trying to keep, when you have a great pass rusher going against, you want to get them going, keep them on the field, make them run sideline to sideline. That's a big part of what Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury want to do to try to neutralize this defensive line for the Rams.
And on 3rd and 6, Eric Weddle takes to the field for the first time in some 750 days. Here's some LA pressure. Murray, deep shot down the sideline. And out of bounds is A.J. Green. David Long on the coverage for the Rams, 4th down.
And this is one of the matchups they wanted to exploit. A.J. Green, 6'4", going up against David Long, who's this 5'11". And you see A.J. just ran out of room. But this is going to be a critical matchup to watch. Whenever Jalen Ramsey is inside, the Cardinals have tremendous length on the outside. How many shots will they take down the field outside the numbers tonight?
18-year veteran Andy Lee is back to punt. From his own 20. Really good kick. Brandon Powell will make the grab. And the Rams will start 20. It's a 51-yard punt. Matthew Stafford, 4th playoff start of his career. Made playoff appearances in 2011, 14, and 16. Lost all 3 of them. He said, you know, the opportunities become fewer and fewer. To the point where you get a chance to go chase a trophy. Such a big opportunity. I don't think it's any added pressure to me, but it's not lost on me either.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford's a realist. He understands what's at stake tonight. He understands the kind of investment that Sean McVay has made in him. Here we go.
Sony Michel starts the backfield. And on 1st and 10, the give is to Michel, right up the middle. And that's how you start on your first snap from scrimmage for the LA Rams. Sony Michel for 35.
Great block. Watch this block up with the linebacker, and then the kick-out block from Whitworth. Great design. That's a big gap there in that Arizona defense that was exploited on the very first snap in a run game.
And you mentioned Whitworth. He's being helped to the sideline. Joe Noteboom will replace him for now. The 40-year-old Whitworth, the leader of that Rams offensive line. From the 45 of Arizona. 2 tight ends for the Rams. Fake it to Michel this time. Cooper Kupp's in the game. His first grab of the night. Pick up a 5. Let's go back to that run block, see what happened to Whitworth.
Yeah, you see him there just blocking out on the perimeter. And you see Zach Allen just roll up on his leg. Look, that's the friendly fire. Well, that's not necessarily friendly fire since that's Zach Allen from the Cardinals, but those are the things that offensive linemen dread and fear the most when they're blocking and have somebody stood up and then bodies are flying all over around their feet.
And J.J. Watt is in the game for the Arizona Cardinals. First time since he blew out his shoulder, Week 7 against his former teammates from Houston. And before we snap on 2nd and 5, there's movement.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Clay Martin, our referee tonight. That's Tyler Higbee, the tight end.
Yeah, we talked with Vance Joseph about what the role is going to be for J.J. Watt in this game. And he said, listen, he's a great pass rusher, and I think that's where he'll have his most impact in this game. But you can see, like, he was probably in Vance Joseph's ear the first 3 or 4 plays of this game. Let me in, let me in, let me in. And now he's in on 2nd and 10.
That's Cooper Kupp in the backfield. And they run away from him with Sony Michel. Back to the line of scrimmage. No game. Watt was in there along with Hicks.
And how good does this feel? for J.J. Watt. Everything that he's been through, Lewis, to come back and to be a part of this and make a tackle.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know his quickness off the line of scrimmage, ability to read blocking schemes. You see him field the double team. You see Jordan Hicks shoot the gap. That's how he makes everyone around him better.
Here's 3rd and 10. So Watt kind of down. Great protection. Now Stafford in trouble, and he's going to be dropped. Marcus Golden, the sack leader for the Cardinals in the regular season, gets him. Golden had 11 sacks during the regular season, adds to the tally.
You know, he's trying to get the football to Cooper Kupp, but watch what happens in the middle of the field. The Cardinals are going to have a plan. They're going to double team him. They've got Budda Baker coming down and Byron Murphy in man-to-man coverage underneath, and nowhere to go with that football. It's a really nice design from Vance Joseph.
Johnny Hecker gets it away. And it'll be down inside the 10-yard line. So after that 35-yard run by the Rams to start it in Sony Michel, they went in reverse. 43-yard punt, scoreless early on. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year winners. There've only been 3, and we've got 2 of them in the game tonight. And I was lucky enough to grow up in that New York metropolitan area. I think I saw every game Lawrence Taylor played. He's the best defensive player I've ever seen play the game.
No argument.
On 1st down, here's Kyler trying to get out of trouble, and he'll slide down for a loss of 2. A'Shawn Robinson off to a fast start for the Rams.
You see Kyler Murray trying to run a lead draw with James Conner leading up through the hole with him. And they did a nice job out here on the perimeter, though, when he tried to jump it outside of really just keeping him boxed in. They did a great job when we had them down in Arizona when the Rams won. Nice job right there.
Saw Cliff Kingsbury. Let's keep in mind, this is his playoff debut as well. He and Kyler are forever linked together. James Conner in the backfield. Kyler wants to throw and was trying to hook up with Christian Kirk, and it goes incomplete. 3rd down.
And one of the things we need to keep an eye on with Kyler Murray tonight is throwing the ball past this defensive line. In the last meeting, he had 2 balls tipped, and at 5'11", you know, he gets a lot of balls tipped at the line of scrimmage. And when he's got a big rush in front of him, he's got to find windows to throw the football.
3rd and 11. Single setback is Edmonds. From their own 8. Kyler in his end zone. Throwing on the run down the sidelines, got a man open and split his 2 targets. Had Rondale Moore and Christian Kirk and split the difference. Gets neither of them, and it's 4th down.
You just watch Aaron Donald. Watch the mayhem in the pocket here. And then as Kyler gets outside the pocket, he has Christian Kirk going down the middle of the field.
That's how Kirk stops here a little bit. I think he thought that was going to go to Rondale Moore. A little bit of indecision between the 2 of them.
2nd straight 3 and out for the Cardinals. Lee from his own end zone. See if Powell gets to return this one. From the 40 he will, and he is tripped up just shy of midfield. Tanner Vallejo made the special team stop after a 52-yard punt.
It is always right to do what is right. Now is the time to open the doors of opportunity to all of God's children. Now is the time to change the pending national elegy into a creative psalm of brotherly love.
We shall overcome.
We observe Martin Luther King Jr. Day in celebration of his birthday and in commemoration of his achievements, legacy as an American civil rights activist who fought for equality for all. First down and 10 for the Rams from their own 48. Stafford wants to throw. Across the middle has Odell Beckham Jr. to the 35. Pick up a 17.
When Matthew Stafford gets under center and they run play action pass, this is where these inside breaking routes just open up second level behind the linebackers. And Odell Beckham has gained the trust of Matthew Stafford to now you can basically consider OBJ 1A to Cooper Kupp, and they will go to him all night long, especially backside of 3-by-1 where he's got one-on-ones where he will go to work.
See, just the second career postseason game for Odell Beckham Jr. Lost his debut as a member of the Giants. Here's Cam Akers running behind Andrew Whitworth. Good to see Whitworth back in the game. Gain of 7. And there you see in the celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, and it's every day for Odell Beckham Jr. That's a tattoo on his leg as he checks back into the game.
Look, this is a dynamic individual, man, and Odell Beckham Jr. is one of the more fascinating players in the NFL. Matthew Stafford raved about his football intelligence, his intellect, his work ethic. He will play a big, big role tonight. It's just getting started for him.
Akers. Gain of 2. Chandler Jones to stop. Bring up a 3rd and 1.
Right off the bat, we're seeing a commitment by Sean McVay to the running game. First drive, they popped one. Now they've come back successive, positive runs on the ground. And Cam Akers, we wondered, with that Achilles, they just got him back in a little bit last week, but he's going to be a more focal point of this offense tonight. There's no question. He and Sony Michel, and what Akers brings that Michel doesn't have is that breakaway speed, and in the passing game, really contributing.
Got a big package here, as you'd expect, on 3rd and 1. Stafford lowers his head, and let's see where they spot him. Really close. The official has first down.
You know, speaking of Cam Akers, it's just remarkable what he has overcome since tearing that Achilles in July. The rehab, the dedication to his rehab, the medical staff here in Los Angeles and how they have helped him along the way, how he really dove into the rehab process. I talked to Stephon Yabel, our injury analyst at ESPN, who is very familiar with his rehab process. Nothing short of just miraculous, spectacular with the work that this young man put in.
First down and 10. Back to Akers. Inside the 10. And the Rams are in business. And a flag comes in.
Holding. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
That's David Edwards. They came off. He and Whitworth. Here's Edwards right here. Watch him come off on this double team. Right there, double team, and then Whitworth comes up to the second level. Edwards is in good position there. He's got that left hand outside. And as soon as the defensive lineman lunges for Akers, he gets called. But this offensive line is coming off the football, and it's a great sign for Sean McVay.
Push him back to the 35 and a 1st and 20. It's Akers. Cuts it back. And he'll get inside the 30. Jalen Tops the stop. Down to Lisa.
Hey, Steve, well, Cam Akers told me he realized that the opportunity was going to be a possibility of coming back soon about 2 months after the Achilles injury, when he was moving around and doing workouts that were way ahead of schedule. But even though he got back quicker than expected, he said the road back was long and hard. There were lots of days. He said he cried on the way to rehab, was afraid he just wouldn't be the same player, but just kept at it. He said he feels good now, no soreness, no swelling. Last week was a test run, hopes to be used a lot more tonight.
2nd and 13. Akers out, Michel in. Cardinals rushing just 3. There's Tyler Higbee. Gets him back inside the 10. Gain of 22.
Watch him just run this little spot route right here by Kupp, and watch Higbee just curl right in behind it. It's just a high-low combination. You see Isaiah Simmons, he gets fixated on Cooper Kupp. Higbee just comes in right behind him. You'll see this all night long.
Rams want to go fast. Cardinals can't substitute. Here's Michel trying to cut it outside, and he won't get there. Kevin Peterson elevated to the active roster today. Outstanding tackle for Arizona. So Akers will come back in. When he tore his Achilles back in July, he said, kind of did what everybody did. Called his mom and cried.
Yeah.
And he told Matthew Stafford, I'll see you in the playoffs. And Stafford said, okay, sure. Never believed he would ever come back.
Just miraculous what he has done, Steve.
We gotta be careful of these season-ending injuries that aren't season-ending. 2nd and goal from the 5. Akers going to get wrapped up. Devon Kennard for Arizona, first man on it.
It's a real nice job by Kennard of beating Tyler Higbee inside on the block and just flowing down the line of scrimmage and getting the TFL.
Yeah, I commend Sean McVay for getting down here and trying to stick with the run. They ran it back-to-back. Now it's 3rd down. This is where you're going to design something for Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee. They love the high-low and the combinations between these two guys right here in the red zone.
3rd and goal from the 4. Lofts one for Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down. Touchdown.
You see Odell Beckham against Marco Wilson really just run the fade route and then go over top of him and pull it down. That's a nice job. You see Matthew Stafford here. You're seeing the end of the play and you're seeing the pinpoint throw, but he did a great job of reading Budda Baker. He waited till the very last second for Budda Baker, showed the fact that he was playing middle field safety coverage, and went to the one-on-one matchup. Great read.
Matt Gay, 48 of 49 extra points during the regular season, and he's got one here in the postseason. And for Odell Beckham Jr., his first playoff receiving touchdown of his celebrated career. 7-0 Rams.
Stafford in a lot of pressure. He's got to read the defense really late. Here's Budda Baker. Watch him come over midway through this snap. He's going to double team Cooper Kupp. So as a quarterback, you have to find the weakness in the defense. And there is the weakness on the weak side. One-on-one coverage. He doesn't force the ball into Kupp. He reads the defense, identifies the matchup. That's playoff football at its finest. Great start for Matt Stafford.
Rondale Moore. Let it go. Start at the 25. The Cardinals start the playoffs away from Glendale as a 5 seed. Likely stay that way, but they enjoy life on the road, as shown by their NFL best 8-1 record. These Cards are the first team in the Super Bowl era to win 8 road games to start the playoffs away from home. And you understand, you figure if you win 8 road games, you're dominant at home too. That just wasn't the case, and that's why you would never start on the road in the playoffs. Yet here they are.
Just wondering what kind of burgers those were. Those In-N-Out burgers?
Double?
Animal style?
Bingo.
Okay.
Stay with me, Grease.
Got it.
Under 4 to go, first quarter. Rams 7-0 lead. See how the Cardinals counter with Chase Edmonds. Troy Reeder at the bottom of that pile for the Rams. It's pushing and shoving. Again, these are division rivals. You would expect some of that.
You know, we all woke up this morning excited about this game, but I have a sneaky suspicion there were a couple of guys on this offensive line for the Cardinals that woke up and had a pit in their stomach saying, I got to go against Aaron Donald in this game. And right off the bat, a little skirmish up front.
2nd and 8. Weddle's in there. We'll keep an eye on him. Here's Kyler taken down at the 17. There's Von Miller with the sack, playing in his first postseason game since he was the MVP of Super Bowl 50.
You see Von Miller right here just continuing to work against DJ Humphries and gets the sack, and it's a good thing that he did. There was some miscommunication again in the back end, in the secondary with Eric Weddle this time, and he had Rondale Moore running a flag route, running a 7 route, trying to get him outside here and deep. Von Miller saves the day with the sack.
3rd and 16. Quick throw to Christian Kirk. He throws it back to James Conner. There is a flag down. Jalen Ramsey had an opportunity to make the stop, but it's a first down. We'll check the marker.
Looked like, was that first pass forward? Needed to be backward, obviously.
3-time Super Bowl official John Parry is always with us.
Yeah, there's a really good chance that this is going to be forward. Looked like he releases it around the 12, and then the receiver touches that ball maybe around the 14.
Illegal forward pass. offense. The second pass was forward. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down. It's 4th down.
That was a good idea anyway, just not the proper execution.
I never like these kind of plays early in football games, to be honest with you, because to me, if I'm on the defensive side of the ball for the Rams, I'm looking at this kind of thing as a sign of early desperation. You really think you need to do this in order to move the football against us? Yep. You can't stick to your base offense? I don't know if it sends the right signal. We'll see. It's early in this football game.
The Cardinals are wearing out Andy Lee. 3 consecutive 3-and-outs, and in heavy traffic, he got it away. Great kick. Brandon Powell on the fair catch. Rams have a 7-0 lead after the 58-yard punt. And your Avalanche,
yes,
in LA right here to take on Anze Kopitar and the Kings.
Cale Makar, best defenseman in hockey.
Hey, it looks pretty good. So you've got him winning the Norris Trophy already, huh?
It's early, but I like my chances.
Right.
See him at the All-Star game, too.
Coming up in Las Vegas, Cam Akers is tripped up at the line of scrimmage. And it's Corey Peters in the middle of that Arizona defense for a loss. Can we just talk about the Arizona offense for a second? The defense hasn't been on the field much. Arizona's offense, they've got 8 plays they have run for -3 yards so far. I don't know if that's nerves. You know, more than half this roster for Arizona has never played in a postseason game prior to tonight.
I think part of it's nerves. I mean, listen, a lot of new faces. Obviously, the coach and the quarterback, it starts there. But they've got to be able to run the football. The difference in this first quarter so far, the Rams are running the ball and Arizona's not. And that settles your whole team down.
And there's another example of that. Cam Akers. First down and more out to the 45. It's a gain of 15 on the play.
Watch Cooper Kupp communicate with Tyler Higbee right here. You see him looking in, and watch them just tandem block this on the edge. You see Cooper Kupp take the outside. You see Havenstein block out. Higbee climbs second level. It's just like fingers in a glove. Cooper Kupp, I'm telling you, this guy, look, he's a different breed. And when they can get blocks like that and get a hat on a hat, and Cam Akers is running with the kind of ferocity he is, it's going to be a long night for the Cardinals if they don't answer this.
Well, look a little closer on replay. Yeah. That ball coming out just before he contacted down. And they shut it down. Let's see. That's timeout. There's 1 left on the play clock.
Timeout. Los Angeles, they're first. 30-second timeout.
With 41 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll take another look here.
Take a look at that.
Watch the right knee.
Yeah.
Yep, right there. He's good.
It was close, though.
Yeah, it was.
And that, it's a great play there by Byron Murphy. They talk a lot, Vance Joseph does, about ripping the ball out. Club, punch, rip. That's what they coach in Arizona. And be a great way for them to flip some momentum and give their offense a short field. And you got to give credit to Vance Joseph. He's done an outstanding job. It hasn't all been perfect, no. And as of late, they haven't played as well as they did in the first 8 weeks of the season. But he has a unique defense, a unique approach, and really he told us this was the first time that he's been able to build a defense from the ground up. When he was in Miami, he was a defensive coordinator for only 1 year, and then he goes to Denver. He's been here now 3 years, and this defense is 100% his.
Stafford to throw. Got plenty of time. Coming across, Higbee took a shot, hung on to the ball to pick up a 14. Zaven Collins made the big hit.
Just watch Tyler Higbee right here running the route against Jordan Hicks. You see Jordan Hicks jumps outside. Higbee says, I'll just come back inside. Matthew Stafford has time to go front side to back side, survey the entire field because he's getting great pass protection. Right now the Cardinals have no answers for the pass game or the run game and need to find something.
Final seconds of the quarter. Did they get him? There is a flag down with zeros on the clock. You didn't think they were actually going to run a play there unless they were successful.
There's no foul on the play as the quarter had expired. Timeout.
That's the way quarter number one will end. Winner to Tampa, 7-0 in LA after one. Coming up at halftime, don't miss the world trailer premiere of the new Marvel Studios original series Moon Knight, streaming March 30th only on Disney+. As we open up quarter number two, Cooper Kupp has one catch so far. The Rams have a 7-0 lead. See the total yardage. LA in Arizona territory. Give it to Akers. And why not keep running that football? Pickup of 5. The Arizona defense 26th in the league against the run.
Yeah, and I was just going to say right now on first down, look, the Los Angeles Rams are averaging 10.5 yards on first down alone. Vance Joseph has to come up with some answers here. And I know, look, he may be willing to give up some rushing yards, but you cannot have them set the tone on your defense like this early in the football game.
Well, what comes next is he starts to bring more guys into the box and he starts to pressure. And when you do that, now you're leaving the guys exposed on the outside with Odell, Van Jefferson, and Cooper Kupp.
Ninth carry, Cam Akers, pick up a 3. Be a third down and short. Akers rushed for 131 yards last season in the wild card game.
Well, listen, this Rams team, they ran the ball 11 times in the first quarter. Okay, that is the recipe for this team. They have to stay committed to it, and Sean McVay understands and knows that his entire offense is predicated off run the ball and play action, and that helps this offensive line. They're not the greatest offensive line just in drop-back pass pro. They found that out against San Francisco last week. So they have to have that run game to go along with it, and so far it's working.
Play clock winding down, and I think Stafford's forced into using a timeout. Those 11 rushes for LA in the first quarter, Grease. That's tied for the third most in a quarter by the Rams in the Sean McVay era. We'll be back in 15 seconds after this word. So the Rams are down to one timeout, 13.5 to play here in the second quarter.
We talked a little bit about Cooper Kupp and only having one catch for 5 yards, but he opens up so much else. And you get Higbee and you get Odell Beckham going in the passing game, and then he's contributing in the running game. He's impacting the game whether he's catching the ball or not.
That's Michelle, top of your screen. They split him out. Stafford to throw. Scott Beckham again down the sideline. And he's crashed out of the 2. Odell Beckham Jr. off a beautiful pass from Matthew Stafford, gain of 31.
You're going to see the switch release there by Odell Beckham out of the bunch. And you see Marco Wilson. He gets caught up with his eyes inside. Doesn't see Odell Beckham running down along the boundary. Bad eyes usually lead to big plays. There's an example of it in the secondary.
First and goal at the Arizona 2. Michelle gets there. Touchdown, Rams.
You see just good blocking at the point of attack. And the guy who really makes it go is right guard Austin Corbett, who gets a nice block that Michelle cuts off of and then just gets his pads down right here. You see him just continuing to drive and get that ball across the plane.
Yeah, I think that ball might be short of the plane.
Well,
that right knee's down.
Right knee down.
Look from this angle.
Right there.
Down. Yeah,
yep.
I think it was short.
They're waiting now.
Ruling on the field was a touchdown. The previous play is now under review.
They'll take a look, come back with the result. ESPN's NFL Wild Card is brought to you by Burger King. Get the $5 Your Way meal with the Double Whopper Jr. And Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, and motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com. Cardinals and Rams only met in the playoffs once. Back in 1975, NFC Divisional round at the old Coliseum. That's our pal Ron Jaworski. Had a rushing and a passing touchdown. LA won. Went on to the NFC title game where they would lose to the Cowboys. Saying he was down by contact, just shy of the goal line. Take the 6 off the board.
Yeah, that was the right
second
call.
and goal.
That was the right call.
Stafford lowers the shoulder. Going to have him short. Bring up a 3rd down and goal.
Well, I understand the playoffs are by any means necessary, so quarterbacks have to be ready to do a lot more of that. But if it were me, I'd just turn around and give it to Sony Michel. This offensive line and these backs are running hard, and I'd give him another opportunity to punch it in.
Stafford's been dealing with a bit of a toe issue. Not Aaron Rodgers level yet, but he's run it twice tonight already. Here's 3rd and goal. Cup in motion. Stafford wants it again. And let's see. Still no signal. Sort out the bodies, and it's going to be 4th down. How about those play calls?
Part of the reason I don't like this is because you get in there and you might get across the goal line as a quarterback, but the official doesn't see it. Now you can see it right there. I think he clearly gets across from that angle, but the officials on the side can't see it, so they come in, and by the time they get in there, the defensive line has pulled him out of the end zone.
And Sean McVay has in fact thrown the challenge flag. Good job by Marcus Golden, though, wrapping up Michel. 44 flashing in there for Arizona.
Los Angeles is challenging the ruling on the previous play that the runner was short. That play is now under review.
If they lose the challenge, the Rams will be out of timeouts for the half, with 11 and a half to play in the second quarter. He's like, see the size of that screen?
After review, it is a touchdown. Please set the game clock to 11:58. 11:58 on the game clock. This is a successful challenge, and Los Angeles will not be charged a timeout.
John Parry?
Yeah, you know what? Great job mechanically by the officiating crew, because it is next to impossible to see this football in the middle. So what they do is they come in and they look for bodies. And as soon as they find that body, that's how they determine whether it's 6 or not. Good review, good reversal to a score.
And I can tell you, they pull that quarterback out of the end zone so fast, the things that go on at the bottom of that pile.
Gave the extra point. Matthew Stafford has his first rushing playoff touchdown since 2011. First rushing touchdown in any game since 2016. The NFL Divisional Playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax Live kick off this Saturday with the Bengals and Titans on CBS, followed by the Packers and the 49ers on Fox. Then the action continues Sunday with the Bills and Chiefs on CBS, and the winner of this game against the Buccaneers next Sunday in the early window on NBC. And the Rams appear to be on their way. Very impressive start for them.
Yeah, this is the scenario that the Cardinals wanted to avoid. Getting down 2 scores where now the Rams defense starts to tee off on you. Kyler Murray talked about it. They need to find some rhythm, man. They need to find something that they can get to that will get them some first downs, get their defense off the field, and kind of calm down this euphoria that the Rams are feeling.
And we talked about all the pressure coming in on Matt Stafford in this offense, and they have delivered. They have been sharp. They have made the plays when they needed to, both on the ground and through the air. Really impressive start for the Rams.
Cardinals -3 total yards offense so far. Need to get it going. They trail 14-0. Time now for America's favorite, Levy's Believe It or Not. Look how happy those guys are, fellas. The 1947 Cardinals, led by Pro Football Hall of Fame halfback Charlie Trippi, And his Hall of Fame coach, Jimmy Conzelman, Trippy turned 100 on December 14th. And these are the longest active title droughts.
Wow.
So the Guardians, by the way, that's the new name for the Cleveland Indians. You guys, I don't know if you guys caught on that, paying attention to that.
Yep.
Sacramento Kings, 1951, and the Toronto Maple Leafs go back to 1967. But the longest active title drought of the Big Four professional sports belongs to these Cardinals. And they're staring at a 14-0 hole. And Kyler Murray from the 25 on 1st and 10. Need to get something going, and that's not the way to start it. Aaron Donald says hello.
When we saw Aaron Donald against the Cardinals in their second game, we saw him do the same thing to Max Garcia. We saw him bull rush him. This time you see him just clean the hands and then come inside, and he has no shot. This is exactly, again, let's just state this very clearly. This is exactly the scenario that Kyler Murray said he didn't want to be in, because now Aaron Donald is doing what he does best.
Well, Cliff Kingsbury can't just go straight to drop back game either. Continue to try to run the football. We haven't seen James Conner touch the ball in a while.
2nd and 17. Kyler might have to make some plays with his legs, and he throws it way low into the turf. Wanted Christian Kirk. Greg Gaines was coming with the pressure.
See, these are the kind of plays right there that Kyler has to make. If he's able to get outside the pocket, which the Rams make a concerted effort to not allow him to do, those throws on the run where he's got receivers breaking open, he has to hit them. That was a completable pass right there that he just missed.
That's the effect of being in your first playoff game. Aaron Donald's running right up the middle. There's a lot. He's seeing a lot of pressure, seeing a lot of color right now. And when you do that as a quarterback, it's hard to stay accurate.
LA only rushing 3, nearly get there. Has to check it down to Moore. And he is crushed. 6-yard gain it goes for. Travin Howard, the stick, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, just watch Travin Howard here. You look at the vision they have on the quarterback. Look how they're all moving in unison on the second level, and then wham! That's when you know. You hear the sideline, you hear them yelling over there. They have them right where they want them right now. I know it's early in the game, but this is exactly the scenario they wanted from the LA Rams perspective.
Cardinals' 4th drive. They have not advanced past their own 29. 4 3-and-outs. Lee boots it away. There's Brandon Powell, has the sideline and stumbled just short of midfield. It's all going the Rams' way for now. And racial justice during his lifetime and continues to inspire the nation.
Yeah, it's great to hear those guys talking about how Dr. King influenced them and certainly influenced all of us, and so many lessons to take heed and to live every day of your life.
Just shy of midfield, 1st down and 10. Stafford to throw, then to some pressure. Showing off the legs tonight. Down to the 46 out of the slide. Dogby chased him out. It's a pickup of 4, and again, the toe we thought might be an issue last week, and Stafford said, look, I'm not going to be as fast as I was on my pro day, and I really wasn't all that fast back then either.
Well, he just needs to be able to push off, and I thought, that interception he threw at the end of that game against San Francisco didn't look like he could push off that back foot and really drive the ball, and it came up short, and that interception ended the game. But tonight he's been able to move around, especially in the boot game. That's where he needs to be able to get out of the pocket, and that toe has not affected him at all.
2nd and 6 on the ground. Sony Michel for a couple. Let's go back. Last week against the 49ers.
Yeah, this is where he got hit, and he kind of got up and he grabs that toe, and that was concerning to me when I saw that, because turf toe is no joke. But he got the treatment he needed and had an extra day of rest with a Monday night game, and he's ready to roll.
People were asking him about it. He said, look, I'm not going to show it to you, though. Not in the press conference. That's for other guys to do.
Yeah.
Remember Aaron Rodgers put his foot up on the table.
Smart move, Matthew. Smart move.
We all appreciate it.
3rd and 4. Stafford to throw. And Cam Akers Couldn't hang on. Right in his hands. 4th down.
I don't think Cam Akers thought this ball was coming. The ball's low. Matthew Stafford sees a linebacker out there, and he picked it up really late. Missed opportunity.
If you're Jordan Hicks and you see Cam Akers out there, you might not want to flat foot read that. You might want to get up out of there and give some cushion, because Cam Akers, look, he just looks fantastic right now. He looks as good as he's ever looked. They'll come back to that.
After the first incompletion of the night for Stafford. Hecker a punt, and it's a beauty. Skoranek downs it inside the 1. 43-yard punt, couldn't be better. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. This is the 3rd time in the last 20 seasons that a playoff game and the Super Bowl will be played in the same stadium in the same postseason. Last time it happened, US Bank Stadium, the Minneapolis Miracle, followed by the Phillies Special a few weeks later, Super Bowl 52. Here's James Conner, his first carry. You were asking for him, Grease, and you got him out to the 4.
Yeah, I would have loved to have had him in the first quarter. I'll take him in the second quarter. But listen, James Conner brought a different element to this offense. He brought a physicality and an attitude, and 18 touchdowns, oh, by the way. And he's been an unbelievable addition to this offense. But if they're going to get back in this game, they have to control the ball. And in order to do that, they got to run it with James Conner.
Longest play from scrimmage so far for Arizona is 6 yards. Kyler from his end zone. Deep shot, got a man. And let's see. Had it. Now they're talking about it. Nick Scott came over with the big hit on A.J. Green, and there's still a conversation. And they're definitely getting help from that Arizona sideline.
I'll give credit to Nick Scott, because he came over and he's in that tough position, that these defensive backs are in with a defenseless receiver. And it looked like he made a nice clean hit on A.J. Green.
John Parry, what'd you see?
He's got to control the football, which he does. Check. 2 feet, check, but no football move. As soon as he's hit, he's going to the ground. I think he needs to survive the ground with control of the football. I have an incomplete pass.
Yeah. And what a heads-up play from Nick Scott. We talked a little bit about no Jordan Fuller, no Taylor Rapp in this game. Everybody was talking about Eric Weddle and signing him, but Nick Scott was the one that Raheem Morris was depending on. He's been elevated to that starter position, and that's really well done.
Yeah, what made that such a great play, they're playing cover 2. The wide receiver gets an outside release, so now the safety on the hash has to travel even further. It's the one thing he doesn't want, an outside release, and Nick Scott, he comes screaming, makes a perfectly legal hit to me. That's as good as you can do it as a safety when your corner puts you in a tough position like that.
I think A.J. Green is headed to the medical tent. I'm not sure we ever got an original call on the field. Usually need a jump-off point, place to start.
Well, the ball's up at the 25, so I think they ruled it a completion.
Good reminder, 3 teams on the field, and there's a lot of pressure and a lot of eyeballs on these officials throughout this Super Wild Card weekend.
Ruling on the field was a catch, followed by a fumble that went backwards at the 24-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 24-yard line, first down.
So the question is, where's the football act, to John's point? And he got 2 feet on the ground, and the officials on the field must have deemed that there was a football act. Maybe it was that hop step. It was 1 foot and then a hop step, John.
Yeah, I don't think the ball is completely under control when he takes the hops, the little step there, and then he gets hit and the ball comes out. Surprised we don't have a challenge.
There we do.
There it is.
Sean McVay's second challenge. Sean got the last one right.
Well, and Sean's thinking, listen, they're backed up. I got them right where I want them. And, this gets them out of a hole. And that's worthy enough for me to challenge that rule on the field.
Los Angeles is challenging the ruling on the field of the previous play. That play is now under review.
And a big reason why Sean McVay kept that one timeout. Remember the touchdown review and now this one too.
After review, the pass was incomplete. It'll be third down at the 3.5-yard line. This is a successful challenge for Los Angeles. As this is their second consecutive successful challenge, they now have one additional challenge.
There's another look at it. So McVay, who went 1 for 1 the entire regular season on challenges, goes 2 for 2 tonight in the first half in the wild card game. And because of that, they will get a third challenge. If he would have been wrong on that challenge, they would have been out of challenges for the rest of the game.
Right.
And that could have been significant.
You got to get 2 right to get your third, yeah.
2 will get you 3.
And John Perry, he's always right, so I don't know. He was right again.
I appreciate that.
Super Bowl JP.
Sean was with us there.
Yeah, he was.
No football move, time element. Right hand came off the ball a little bit. Nice job with replay to make it an incomplete pass.
So because that play didn't happen, now A.J. Green is running back on the field.
Well, and this is what Sean wanted. Backed up, 3rd and long, get this crowd into it, flip the field, another opportunity for 99 to rush.
So a lot going on. 8 minutes to play in the half. The Cardinals find themselves backed up on a 3rd and 7. And Nick Scott makes the great defensive play for the Rams. So here we go. Rams pressure is picked up. Kyler! Did he get rid of it? It's intercepted! It's David Long! Into the end zone for the touchdown. Troy Reeder got the hit on Murray. Nearly had him for the safety for 2. Instead, it's 6, and it's a Rams touchdown.
You just have to know the situation in the game. Troy Reeder's going to come on a pressure. Edmonds is going to try to block him. You can't hold the ball if you're Kyler Murray. You're standing in your own end zone. You can't pump it like that, and then you absolutely can't do that.
And what you see there by David Long is, again, great vision. Playing the flat defender, just reading the quarterback, playing it high to low, break on the football.
And how big was that challenge from Sean McVay? That's what he wanted. He wanted an opportunity to rush Kyler Murray in the end zone, knowing his defense could be aggressive up 14, and it pays off for him.
Matt Gay, the extra point. And it's all Rams. It's all gone wrong for Arizona. 21-0 Los Angeles.
We started this game talking about this Arizona Cardinals team, how they can look great. They looked great beating these Rams right here in SoFi early in the year, but they can also be streaky. And when you put them under pressure, under the spotlight of the playoffs, how are they going to respond? And so far in this first half, couldn't go any worse.
And how about David Long? He had 1 interception this season. It was week 1 here on the opening drive of the season. He picked off Andy Dalton in the end zone, comes up with a pick 6 here. And we're seeing some of the playoff inexperience, I think, by the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, playoffs or not, a quarterback can't hold the ball in your own end zone. And you're trying to do too much, and bad things happen. And then he panics when he's trying to avoid a safety, and he gives up 7 points.
Look, it's going to be imperative that they get to certain plays and certain players in order to get something going and get things calmed down. Who am I talking about? Look, Chase Edmonds, James Conner out of the backfield, Zach Ertz in the middle of the field. Those are the guys that have to be featured.
There's Rondell Moore. Can't get a play from their special teams either. Antoine Brooks, the special teams stop. The Cardinals have -1 yard total offense. Under 8 to play in the first half.
This is
Look, this is the worst possible scenario, but again, they have to go back to their best players' best plays. It just cannot be a grab bag, let's just try this, try that. They have to get to their best players. Their running backs are their best players. Their tight end, Zach Ertz, is their best player. They have to touch the ball.
Kyler's first interception in his last 152 pass attempts, going back to week 15. Murray under pressure again. Throws to the middle of the field, able to complete. It's Zach Ertz. And the Cardinals needed that.
It's the first time we've called his name tonight, a little tight end screen. He's been involved a lot in the pass protection. Jalen Ramsey's been on him a little bit tonight, but they just need to get him going. The middle of the field is where Kyler Murray has feasted this year. Completed over 80% of his passes. The Rams have given up upwards of 70% plus completion percentage between the numbers. Start attacking that area of the field.
Second and 5 from their own 18. James Conner has the first down. Their first down of the night. Gain of 11.
And I love getting the ball to James Conner, and it's one series too late. You know, it's like now you're down 21-0. It's a completely different game than 14-0. It just is. And now you're in a passing situation. You know, you can come out and run the ball if you want, but now you really have to begin to throw the ball more, and that's exactly what the Rams defense is built to stop.
Murray has plenty of time. Now he'll throw sideline, too high for Chase Edmonds. During the regular season, this Rams defense had more interceptions than passing touchdowns allowed.
Watch Zach Ertz here, just running what they call like a wide basic, coming across the middle of the field. And Kyler Murray's looking at him. You see him calling for the football. It looked like he had a window to throw it in. But see, we're talking about holding on to the football there in the end zone with the turnover. He's got to get the ball out of his hand and get the ball to this guy in the middle of the field.
Kyler juggled, and he took it back. Rondale Moore off his hands to David Long, and he gave it right back to Moore. That'll go as a eventful gain of 11 yards.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen this. Off his hands now, I'm just going to take it back from you.
Wow.
But you know what? Sometimes better to be lucky than good.
Looked like David Long started to run with the ball.
Here's Edmonds out of the Wildcat to midfield.
Just helter-skelter from this offense. And listen, you know, sometimes those things give you a little bit of momentum. I think there's one goal in mind right now for the Cardinals before halftime. That's go down, score a touchdown here, and get a stop on defense and make this a two-score game. That is your singular focus, whatever, by any means.
From midfield. Rams bring some pressure, get it out to Moore quickly, and he is upended. Von Miller for the loss. Miller having an excellent first half.
Von Miller read that all the way. He had his eyes on this. You see him right here. Christian Kirk just stands him up at the line, and then just gets into pursuit mode.
Rondale Moore is a 4-3 guy, and Von Miller's 32 years old. He's still got a little juice left. It's that playoff juice.
Yeah, this crowd will give you that. It is crazy in here right now.
Second and 12. Off the fingertips and intercepted. Marquise Copeland comes up with it. Cardinals, just when they had something going. And it's a Rams party in the end zone. Kyler's picked off for the second time tonight.
This is on the quarterback. Just why this is going to be a simple screen, and Connor's going to come out right here. You got to give him a little bit of time to see the football. Put it out here where he can go towards it. Instead, it's up high and it's hard. It's very difficult for a running back to pick up that ball when it's thrown that hard on a screen. You got to have touch.
And he talked about how pressure affects young quarterbacks, and Leonard Floyd just screaming in his face. all 6'5" of him with his arms up in the air, sped up his process right into a mistake.
See if the Rams take a shot here from their own 49. Stafford wants it and overthrew Cooper Kupp. Kupp still has one catch, and they still have a 21-0 lead, under 5 to play.
That might be the most impressive thing we've said about the first half for the Rams, because this offense runs through number 10. And whether it's in the passing game and now late in the season without Robert Woods and without Johnny Munt, their tight end, the run game even goes through number 10. So the impact that he has on this offense is every single snap, and it's not just catching the ball. Tonight's a perfect example.
Hey, maybe the Cardinals have taken him away, but everything else is working.
Yeah, they double him, and Odell gets a touchdown, right? Like, those kinds of plays happen all the time.
Stafford, middle of the field, open, Odell Beckham Jr. There's a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
I think they're going to get Andrew Whitworth. He tackled Marcus Golden, kind of fell down. He was going down and got his right arm wrapped around Golden. It's the right call.
Holding, offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Wipes out a 24-yard gain.
You know, he got hurt in that ankle, and it doesn't look like he's got the same kind of movement or balance. He like crossed over with his legs. You never want to do that as a tackle, and he got crossed over and was just trying to protect his quarterback.
The 8th 40-year-old player to start an NFL playoff game, and the oldest active player in the NFL not named Tom Brady. And the winner of tonight will go to Tom's house next Sunday, early window on NBC. 2nd and 20. In the backfield, Akers is rocked. Forget about it. Tanner Vallejo for the loss of 2.
Well, J.J. Watt talked about the fact that first and second level players, when you're going against these outside zones, you have to get penetration. You have to play downhill. That's downhill right there, folks. That's picture textbook. Textbook. Now, you have a 3rd and long situation. You still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds and counting in this first half. They have got to get off the field here and see if they can get some points here before we go to intermission.
Well, if I'm Vance Joseph, I'm going to be aggressive here. What you really need is a turnover. Maybe you can confuse Matthew Stafford and get a tip ball interception.
3rd and 22, Jake Funk, the rookie from Maryland, picks up 8.
I like that call from Sean McVay. Take that scenario I just laid out, take it out of the equation. And we talked with Sean, and I asked him about, the fact that Matthew Stafford has thrown 8 interceptions here towards the back end of the season, and how you can manage that. And he said, I don't want to take his aggressiveness away, because that's what makes him great, but there are things that I can do, my demeanor and the way I call plays, or tell them just take what they give you. I thought that was a good example.
Johnny Hecker, the highest paid punter in the game. That's a 45-yard punt. Not pretty tonight for Kyler Murray in his NFL playoff debut.
Yeah, you hold the football too long and then just throw it up carelessly in your own end zone. Bad things are going to happen. There you see his process get sped up on the screen, trying to get the ball to James Conner. Leonard Floyd with nice pressure off the edge. But they had something going that last drive, Steve. You mentioned the fact that they had the ball moving along. They started getting Zach Ertz involved in the offense. James Conner had an appearance there in that drive. Just got to put it all together.
Kyler's completion percentage during the regular season was 2nd in the NFL, behind only Joe Burrow. He's been off target here tonight. 2:46 to go in the half. Flags come in. Let's see who moved first.
False start, offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Arizona Cardinals started the season 7-0. Early December, they're 10-2. Best record in the NFL. 2-game lead in the West with 5 to play. They wind up dropping 4 of the last 5, and you wonder what's the carryover into the postseason. Maybe we're seeing some of that tonight, but we're also seeing them against a very good Rams team. 1st and 15. Here's Murray being chased. Now looks to run and wanted Daniels. Got a little history tonight. The pick six from David Long is the shortest pick six in NFL postseason history. So there you go, fellas.
Those 6 points count, though, all the same, don't they? And you know what? It got this crowd just into an absolute frenzy if it already wasn't that way. And now trying to drive at it deep into your own territory for this Cardinals offense, I mean, that's just a daunting task. So this place is just getting louder and louder and louder.
Pressure on Kyler, got rid of it. And that was closer to a Ram than it was to Zach Ertz. Just look out of sync tonight.
Well, Raheem Morris is having fun now. He's going to bring this linebacker, and that's going to force Beachum to come down. But that leaves the end free. That's, you know, Leonard Floyd coming free. Now, look, this is communication, right? Arizona offensively completely out of sorts, and Raheem Morris, he smells blood in the water. He's going after it.
Raheem Morris will be a candidate for a head coaching job with 8 vacancies around the NFL. Here's 3rd and 15 now. Kyler from out of his end zone, able to complete to Moore, and he'll get out to the 11-yard line, pick up a 6, 4th down. The Cardinals have yet to convert on 3rd down. They're 0 for 6.
You get a combination of the Cardinals kind of breaking down and losing their composure and then not being able to run the football, and you couple that with what this Rams defense does well, rushing the passer and playing pass defense, and this is what you get.
That's David Long down on the field at the 20 being attended to. 2:09 to go here in the half. Long, who had been mostly a special teams player, has played a big role on defense here tonight.
Well, we had some questions coming into this game about this secondary for the Rams. Remember last week they did not look good. They gave up that 2-minute drive to Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers. The week before that, when they were playing the Ravens, there was a lot of back and forth between Jalen Ramsey and Taylor Rapp, and then they bring in Eric Weddle, and they're trying to settle down that DB room. And nobody has, for Arizona, they haven't even challenged that secondary or put them on Front Street, and they've gotten away with it.
That'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. It's been all Rams, leading the Cardinals 21-0. Cardinals franchise all-time has 2 road playoff victories. Last time was 2008 at Carolina. Before that, 1998 against Dallas. And they are up against it here, down 21-0 in LA. Here's Andy Lee for the 4th time tonight. Fair catch. And the Rams will have it from their 42 after a 47-yard punt. Coming up, USAA Insurance halftime. Make sure you stay tuned for the world trailer premiere of the all-new Disney Plus original series, Marvel Studios' Moon Knight. That's coming up at halftime. Marvel Studios.
Well, after 13 seasons and an 0-3 mark in the playoffs and all those time in Detroit, now Matthew Stafford comes out, and this has got to feel really good for him. He's only had to throw the ball 8 times in the first half. He's completed 6 of them. They've really got this run game going and taking the pressure off of him.
And the Rams are going to get the football to start the 3rd quarter, too. So there's that. Cooper Kupp continues to play the role of decoy. Sony Michel runs out to the 50, dragging Jalen Thompson, gain of 8.
It's just the power these running backs are running with between the tackles, and how this offensive line and the tight ends and the wide receivers are getting their faces on blocks. And the Cardinals aren't getting off blocks. It's just that simple.
On 2nd and 2. Not even close. It's a loss of 3 on the play.
Boy, it's really interesting to watch Sean McVay here right before half with a minute and a half and only 1 timeout, and he's running the football, and he's content just to bleed the clock. I think if they would have got some yardage there, you know, he might have gone up tempo, but you get back into a 3rd and 4 or 5 situation, you're content to bleed some clock, because if you don't make it, you're going to have to punt.
If the Cardinals have any chance of getting back in this game, this drive is crucial, as is the one coming out in the second half. They cannot give up points here.
Cup, Beckham, Jefferson all to the right on 3rd and 5. Stafford's looking left the whole way, and it's dropped. Higbee had it, and then he didn't. 4th down, 42 seconds left. Arizona has all 3 timeouts.
Boy, Higbee doesn't normally drop those balls. He's got really heated up here towards the end of the season. He had 2 touchdowns in the game a week ago, and I know you talked about Odell Beckham being 1B to Cooper Kupp's 1A. I would put Tyler Higbee right there as well. Got some really good options in the passing game.
We'll give him 1C. Just keep on moving down the line.
Hecker gets it away. Fair catch, and that's muffed. And then recovered by Christian Kirk. I mean, what else can go wrong for these Arizona Cardinals? The playoffs all set up for next week. Cincinnati and Tennessee, Buffalo, Kansas City, San Francisco, Green Bay, and then who's going to play the Buccaneers next Sunday? Right now it looks like the Rams. You know, the Rams and the Cardinals could still get another home game the way this crazy bracket plays out. Now San Francisco would have to win, and LA or Arizona would have to win next week, and then either here in Englewood or in Glendale could host the NFC Championship game. Don't close up these stadiums, not yet. Let's see. We'll see how the Cardinals are going to play this down the stretch. It's Eno Benjamin, his first carry. And it doesn't appear that anyone wants to stop the clock now.
Yeah, the Cardinals need to get in there to the locker room and regroup, man. And they really have to come out with an intentional plan as far as getting this ball to their playmakers. And they got to stop making mistakes, shooting themselves in the foot. And Kyler Murray's going to have to pick it up. He's just going to have to pick it up, and the defense is going to have to help him.
Can't wait to hear Lisa's report from Cliff Kingsbury. That'll be an interesting halftime. All Rams up 21-0 at the break. Stay tuned for the USAA Insurance halftime. It is a great pleasure to welcome you to the first ever Monday Night Football playoff game.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Odell Beckham Jr. got it down.
The things that go on at the bottom of that pile.
Kyler, it's intercepted.
You absolutely can't do that.
And it's all Rams. It's all gone wrong for Arizona. Out of the half, flying into the 3rd quarter, 21-0. Home team. And all the pressure on both of these quarterbacks. And Matthew Stafford, rather economical first half. Kyler and the Cards really struggled. Time now for the Mercedes EQ 3rd quarter reset. Keep in mind, Cooper Kupp has 1 catch.
Yeah, Sean McVay wanted to come into this game, and he wanted to establish the run game, and that's exactly what they did with Sony Michel and with Cam Akers, and this offensive line started to push people, working together up front. That, to me, was the biggest difference in the first half, Lewis.
Yeah, because really what they did is they got inside the Cardinals' head now. Now they don't know if they can match this football team blow for blow. And once you get a team on its heels, physically and mentally, especially in a high-pressure situation like this, now you've got them where you want them. And now it's going to be imperative the leadership of the Cardinals respond here. Otherwise, they're going to get blown out in this second half, so we'll see what happens.
I saw Steve Keim, the GM of the Cards, on the field. He said he's never seen Kyler in the facility this week more at any time his entire career. Kingsbury said the same thing, just hasn't materialized in that first half.
So if you're going to talk to Kyler Murray at halftime and say, listen, obviously that's not how we want to play football, but you're going to be remembered for how you play in this second half. Now, you have a long road, an uphill road to go, but settle down, take back control of the huddle, and that's going to be the only way that you're going to get back in this football game.
We'll get Lisa's reports from the 2 head coaches coming up shortly here. And again, the Rams are getting the football. Already a 21-0 lead. They'll get it at the 25. Down to Lisa Salters.
Steve, Sean McVay told me that he loves everything about the way his team is playing. He said the defense could not have played a better first half. On offense now, he says we've got to continue to run the ball, be efficient, and then pick and choose our spots. Exactly the opposite for the Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury said the first half was about as bad as it could have been. He said we couldn't get anything going, but Kingsbury said there are no 21-point plays, so we've got to play now like it's 0-0. Steve?
All right, Lise, thank you. Rams will start from their own 25. Van Jefferson in motion and hand it to Sony Michel. Straight ahead for 4. Keep in mind, so the Rams have this 21-0 lead. And their last 3 possessions started at midfield, their own 49 and their own 42, and they went 3 and out in all 3 of those drives. So the Cardinals defense has done a little something now, but they definitely need to stop here.
So this is the most important drive of their season right here. If they do not keep them from getting in the end zone, and this team goes up 4 scores, it's over if that happens. This is the most important drive of the season right here.
From the 28. Right back to Michel. Will be wrestled down by Jalen Thompson. Pick up a 4. Bring up a 3rd down.
I think what's interesting is Vance Joseph has begun to sub Tanner Vallejo, the linebacker, for Isaiah Simmons on run downs. And a big part of the reason why is Isaiah Simmons has not become that downhill physical run-stopping linebacker that they had hoped he has become. And he's become their coverage linebacker. And so now on the 3rd down he comes in, but on rush downs Vallejo is taking him out.
That's Cup, bottom of your screen on 3rd and 3. Stafford. Higbee hangs on to that one. Pickup of 11, 1st down, Rams on the move.
This offense wants to get Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee on the same side of the field. Here's Kupp, here's Higbee, and they're going to run combination routes with those two. If you don't cover Kupp, obviously he's going to get it, but they're going to bring Higbee right behind Kupp, knowing that defenses are going to have to account for him, and there's a wide open cavity in the defense.
Ryan, come on. We got 2 out here. 55 out here. We got to squeeze. There you go.
Just got it away. Stafford throws and through the hands of Cooper Kupp. Don't see that every day.
And Cooper Kupp just turned around, spotted up against this zone coverage that the Cardinals are running right now, and it's almost too easy for him right now. He just took his eyes off it. You can see it right there. Doesn't look it in, which is something that this young man just does not do.
Well, these two are on the same page so often. He was expecting that ball on the inside shoulder. It came on the outside shoulder. You could see him always starting to turn, and that's why he couldn't bring it in.
Kupp said that Stafford yelled at him for the first time ever in Week 14 against these Cardinals in Glendale. He might get yelled at again here. 2nd and 10.
Matchup with Higbee.
Stafford, quick throw. Odell Beckham Jr. got started slowly, and Chandler Jones there first for the Cardinals.
Now, this is a critical 3rd down. Last time on 3rd down, 3rd and short, they didn't challenge the Rams receivers very much. Arizona's defense didn't. Right now, they're going to have to make sure that they're playing zone. They got to match these patterns much more aggressively. It's imperative they get off the field here.
3rd and 8. Stafford has time. Now hit as he throws. Flag comes in. Wanted Kupp, and it's knocked away. Byron Murphy on the coverage. We'll check the marker.
And you get a flag, a hold on Murphy. Gardeck placed a huge hit on Stafford.
Before the pass was thrown, holding. Defense, number 34. 5-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
See Stafford feeling the effects of that hit. Grabbing his chest.
And he said 34, but Jalen Thompson was in the middle of the field. He must have met Byron Murphy right here on Cooper Kupp. See, those are the kind of mistakes. Those are kind of mistakes when they keep you on the field and you see that big hit that Gardeck puts on Stafford. You can tell he could feel it mid-hit. right in the sternum.
Well, that takes your breath away right there. I mean, you're on the ground there and you can't catch your breath. That's one of those for sure. He's taken too many of those. He took a big one in the Jacksonville game. That's something that, Matthew is as tough as they come. And he wants to hold on to the ball to the last minute to make that big play, but you can't take those big shots.
And he wants to finally win a playoff game. Now people stop talking about that. Here's Odell Beckham Jr. He wants to throw it. Got a man down the sideline. It's Cam Akers. And the Rams aren't done yet. It's some razzle-dazzle Hollywood style. Gain of 40. OBJ to Akers, the longest play of the night.
Here's Akers in the backfield, and he's just going to release. After this ball, got to make sure that's thrown backwards. That's the last play. But that ball has to be thrown backwards, and then you get back in OBJ. I saw him throw this in practice yesterday, and he didn't throw it very well yesterday. He threw it short. But Sean McVay came up to say, it's okay, big fella. It's all right. I'm still going to call it. I still love it, even though you didn't throw it in practice well. Some guys are just primetime players.
That's something he's doing going back to his Giants days.
Likes the bright lights. So we got a timeout. The play clock winding down. Odell Beckham Jr., 4 of 6 passing in his career prior to tonight. 144 yards and 2 touchdowns entering this evening.
And you got to get these guys involved in these kinds of plays. Like Odell's he's got that energy, right? You let him throw a ball and he's going to love you for a month.
Beckham told Lisa this week he was going to have a big night tonight. No doubt about that, Lisa.
Yes, Steve, I talked to him last night, and he was so excited. You could hear it in his voice. He was getting even more juiced up watching the other games on TV. He told me he was fully expecting to have a big game tonight, that he feels like everything that's happened to him in this season, in his life, has been preparing him for this moment. I asked him, do you feel like you're about to go off in this game? And he said, I really do. I can feel it in my heart, and I'm ready. Steve?
6 receiving touchdowns in 9 games, including tonight with the Rams. Had none in his 6 games with the Browns. Stafford to throw. There's Cooper Kupp. His second grab. The only other catch for Cooper Kupp tonight came on the Rams' second play from scrimmage. That's a long time ago.
Just going back to OBJ, I think this is really smart by Sean McVay, because he's thinking about this game, but they're in control of this game. He's also thinking about the long play here and the rest of the journey through the playoffs and getting him on board and happy as these games continue to get bigger and bigger.
I think at the same time with Cooper Kupp, he's saving some wear and tear on him tonight. You don't even need him. You don't need him. The running backs are controlling this game.
Can still get a first down at the 1. Kupp turning around off the turf and into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Vance Joseph talked about the fact that when you play leverage coverage on him and it's not double, he's just going to run away from your leverage. And Byron Murphy, you see him sitting at the goal line, hard inside leverage. Cooper Kupp's just going to turn that out. He's going to make a shoestring grab just like this, and it's going to be 6. One-on-one, you're playing soft off and inside. That's 6 all day long.
Yeah, it was cover 0 blitz. There's no safety, and Vance Joseph's trying to play more aggressive, but Byron Murphy's got to be up closer, tighter.
Matt Gay, the extra point. Perfect. Just like the rest of the Rams' effort this evening. Early stages, third quarter. 28-0, Los Angeles. Back at SoFi Stadium in Englewood, California. This is the 50th all-time playoff game for the Rams organization. Just the 17th for the Cardinals, and LA is having their way with Arizona. Cooper Kupp, he won the Triple Crown, 4th player since 1970, but it's not all about that.
No, look at all the things that he does that don't show up, that people don't notice. Blocking in the run game. And then when you catch that many balls, you're going to be used as a decoy at times. Look at this. Bring the underneath coverage and allow Tyler Higbee to get behind you. And then the touchdown to OBJ. He's going to force the safety to come over and respect his ability to catch a football, and that gives OBJ a one-on-one. Much like Aaron Donald and Von Miller in that relationship, it's very similar with Cooper Kupp. He's going to draw so much attention that other guys are going to have opportunities to make plays.
Kyler Murray in Arizona. In big trouble here tonight. Need to get something going. Chase Edmonds for a couple. Mentioned the triple crown for Cooper Kupp. That is receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. He had such a season. In fact, he had 22 more catches, 331 more receiving yards, and 2 more receiving touchdowns than anybody else in the league.
Look, it's the play strength and the consistency with which he plays that's just remarkable. This is really a self-made man, one of the best players in the league.
Kyler to throw. Directs traffic. Hits Rondale Moore. First down, Arizona. Gain of 11.
These underneath zones, these second-level zones between the numbers, just move the chains, get some completion, see if they can get a score on the board. I think that's definitely, I've been saying it, that's where they have to go. Kyler Murray has to get the ball out of his hands fast. The pass rush has been on him all night long.
Edmonds. Just beyond the 40. Pickup of 2. Kyler Murray, you probably know about his decorated high school career. Went 43-0 in high school. On his way to winning the Heisman, the #1 overall pick. Dating all the way back to high school, his worst loss ever in Murray's starting career is 27 points. That was week 13 of 2019 to these Rams. He finds himself down 28 points tonight with 8:40 to go in the third quarter. Trying to set up the screen to Daniels, the tight end. And how about this swarming Rams defense led by Eshawn Robinson and Troy Reeder.
Yeah, and swarming is the right word, Steve. Look, these slow developing plays out on the perimeter that give this defense a chance to go ahead and run and hit. They're just not going to go anywhere. That's not going to get you back in this football game.
Goose egg tonight when it comes to third down conversions so far. 3rd down and 8. Rams bring some pressure, and the Cardinals run out of that with Chase Edmonds. Floyd to stop. 4th down.
And Cliff Kingsbury, no hesitation, obviously. Bring James Conner back on the field. You know, you really haven't gotten him involved. Obviously, you know, this hasn't become a running game now. You got to throw the football, but I like getting him matched up on a linebacker in this situation.
4th and 4. Kyler looking to get out of there. Got some speed. Has the first down, and then he ducks down at midfield. Jalen Ramsey put a good hit on him. Gain of 6.
We talked with Raheem Morris about moving Jalen Ramsey around and bringing him inside in that star position for things like this right here to eliminate Kyler Murray in the rush and the scramble, and that's exactly what happened.
And interestingly enough, he lined up outside and just came off his guy and closed. So just that, you're right. You put him inside.
And that throw to Christian Kirk. And that is the first play that Arizona has run on the Los Angeles side of the field. It's also the first catch of the night for Christian Kirk, who is Cardinals' top receiver. No DeAndre Hopkins tore his MCL in week 14. Big part of the struggles for the Cardinals down the stretch, which they lost 4 of the last 5. Changes everything about this Arizona offense. Here's Conner. See where they mark the forward progress. Robinson makes the stop. He's going to be just short. A massive impact with and without, as you would expect. Arguably the best wide receiver in the game. And it hurts him everywhere, but especially in the red zone. Not that they've sniffed the red zone tonight.
Well, look, I mean, when we talked to Jalen Ramsey, he said, look, without him on the outside, it really does allow them to go ahead and focus on making sure they defend inside out. Look, A.J. Green is still a fantastic wide receiver, but he just changed everything with him not being on the field.
Rather generous spot, gives him a first down. Here's Edmonds now. Terrell Burgess made the stop.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Chase Edmonds' show here going forward. You know, James Conner, you know, we talked about last week, he took a real big shot to his ribs, and he's trying to push through it, but he took a wicked hit, and he's in pain on the sideline.
Edmonds has his own rib issues. Kyler loads up middle of the field, has Christian Kirk again. Getting him involved all of a sudden, gain of 23.
So that's exactly where they need to start.
And flags come in now, frustration. Looks like Donald and Pugh getting together. These NFC West rivals.
Yeah, a lot of frustration. You know, this offensive line for Arizona, now they're being asked to pass block on almost every single snap, and against Aaron Donald, they're getting frustrated, and he and the left tackle Humphreys got into it.
See, Zach Ertz is in there too. Ertz told us this rivalry, he gets the sense it reminds him a little of Eagles-Cowboys.
Yeah, which is about as nasty as it gets.
Clay Martin and his crew will sort this out.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 99, 15-yard penalty automatic, first down.
All individual assignments for this officiating crew. None of Clay Martin's regular crew working with him here tonight.
Yeah, you see Humphreys has a hold of Aaron Donald's face mask. His helmet's already been dislodged.
He's going for the rake across the face.
Yeah, Aaron is not the one, man. He's just not the guy.
Now you got to hold it. Yeah, you got the.
And he's the one who took it off him.
Penalty puts Arizona in the red zone for the first time tonight. 11th play of the drive upcoming. See if Donald will cool down a little bit. Eno Benjamin in the backfield for the Cardinals. To the left to Kyler Murray. Murray, quick throw to Connor. Lowers the shoulder. Mark him down to the 2. Second and goal.
Boy, I got a lot of respect for what James Conner is doing in this game. Aaron Donald had a similar injury last year. Remember in the playoffs, he had that rib, and it was really painful. I mean, it's hard to play with that. But at the running back position where you're getting hit multiple times on every single play, it's even harder. And James Conner is showing a lot of toughness tonight.
Got A.J. Green down here at the bottom of the screen. Significant size advantage.
Oof. Connor gave it to him. Touchdown. Sneaks through there.
That's a heck of a run.
And the Cardinals are on the board. They'll worry about the rib pain later.
Well, he's the guy that on this offense, maybe more than any other, he is the guy that established the attitude. And this is what they've been missing in the red zone. They haven't been as good with him. He missed 2 games towards the end of the year, and they just haven't had that physical presence.
And he took a wicked shot from Nick Scott right there at the goal line. And a tough run.
28-6. The card says go for 2. Quick toss. Caught. Antoine Wesley on the 2-point conversion, and flags come in.
Yeah, and after Donald was getting into it, now it's Kelvin Beachum and Leonard Floyd on the other side. And the officials going to have to get control of this one.
Result of the play was a successful 2-point try. after the play. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, Arizona number 68. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. 15 yards, timeout.
Take a look right at your screen. Kelvin Beachum. He got flagged. Cards are on the board. Winners have won the Super Bowl 10 times. Remember last season, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a winner of the wild card round, on their way to the Super Bowl. And a championship in Tampa. Winner tonight goes to visit Tommy next week. Short kick, Powell from the 10. Out beyond the 30, down to Lisa.
Steve, James Conner told me before the game that those ribs are still extremely sore on his left side. You can see the thick layer of protection he's wearing there, but he told me he did not want to get a pain-killing injection tonight because of what happened to Tyrod Taylor last season when Taylor, who was playing for the Chargers, got an injection right before a game in week 2, and the team doctor accidentally punctured his lung. Connor told me, I'm just playing it safe. I don't want that happening to me. It's painful, but I got to play through it. It's the playoffs.
Thanks, Lise. Having had Connor and Edmonds together on a regular basis, another reason for their struggles late during the regular season. From the 31, here's Cam Akers. Shot by Hicks, pick up 4 on the play.
Well, I've been really impressed with Cam Akers. You know, he brings a different element. He's a little more slippery. He can get through smaller holes. Sony Michel is so much more powerful, but Cam Akers has that speed, that breakaway speed. And it doesn't look to me, Lewis, like that Achilles hasn't impacted any of that.
No, he's jump cutting all over the place. He looks like he's going through a combine bag drill out here every time he touches the ball. Just a remarkable story. Great 1-2 punch that they have going for him now here in the playoffs.
Akers has 40 yards rushing and 40 yards receiving. Remember, he caught the pass from Odell Beckham Jr. Here's Stafford, loads up, middle of the field for Van Jefferson. On the money. Beats Marco Wilson and Jalen Thompson for 41.
Just watch watch Jefferson's release. It's just beautiful. And then the top of the route, just to gain a little bit of separation. You see the safety, Jalen Thompson, he's favoring a little bit too far outside, can't get over the top. But Van Jefferson right now has become just a fantastic route runner. That's what he was like at Florida. Sean has brought him along perfectly, and he just fits in seamlessly in this passing game and has become a great downfield threat.
First catch tonight for him, and that's the longest play of the night for 41. Here's Akers picking and choosing. He's got the Rams inside the red zone again. Gain of 8.
When you're Sean McVay and you're getting 8 yards a pop running the football like this, I mean, why would you throw it? And when you do throw it, and you throw it off a play-action pass, and you're getting those kind of chunk plays. I mean, you're right now, you would just love to be inside of his head right there and just think about and just hear what he's thinking about, because everything is working, everything is building off of each other. And the Cardinals basically have not had an answer for it all night.
Well, I tell you what's going on in there. Everything he calls works, and he says, listen, I'm going to call this so I can set that up, and we can run the ball, play action. I really have the whole inventory available to me.
Akers again. First down now inside the 5 on Budda Baker, who remains down on the field for the Cardinals.
Boy, you just hope that Budda is okay. That was a wicked hit.
And the medical personnel got to him really quickly out on the field. The great Budda Baker is still being assisted on the field. Got the stretcher out. You can see the concern from both teams for the player Baker. And there was still some animosity going on while we were in the television break. Players pushing and shoving, coming together as well.
Yeah, they were I don't think that the Cardinals players took too lightly or took too kindly to what Cam Akers' response was as he walked past Budda Baker after the play was over. And in fairness to Cam, as we've talked about here in the booth, I don't think he knew maybe the seriousness of what just happened. But that's what the Cardinals players were disappointed about. You see Cam Akers come here and finish on this run and gets the best of Budda Baker, and Budda takes a shot to the side of the head.
Right. And when Cam gets up, he doesn't know what's going on with Budda Baker, and
he gestures to him as he walks past him.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
You see it right there.
And that upset a lot of the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. And while we've been watching this, Cam Akers been on one knee, kind of concerned about Budda Baker.
This was just moments ago. You're just waiting for the signal, some movement there, and there you see Budda Baker puts his right hand in the air. And while there was a penalty on the play, John Parry, not the penalty many fans at home might think it should have been.
Right, they did have a hold, and that was a correct call. Some people may be looking at that. Why isn't that use of helmet? You know what? We've looked at it several times. It looks like they're trying to get the shoulders in and the head out. Just exactly what we want. Just a tough play health-wise.
And then you could have gotten a taunting penalty end as well.
Yeah.
From Akers.
And I think it should have been a taunting.
See if Lisa can get a report for us on Budda Baker going to the Pro Bowl for the 4th time. And the only all-pro player on this Arizona team. Stafford chased out by Zach Allen. Gain of 10.
This is all working for Matthew Stafford. He was trying to get Cooper Kupp one-on-one against Byron Murphy on a little option route. It was shut off by Murphy. He takes off and runs.
The only thing Matthew's thinking about right now is continue to play a clean game. Don't give them any gifts or any reason to get back into this game. Continue to make the right decisions. No reason to risk the football.
3rd and 1. For a while there, Stafford was out rushing the Cardinals all by himself in the first half. Not going to get to the marker. And that's J.J. Watt. Loss of 4 and the first impact play we've seen out of 99 and white.
Here he is right here, and he's just going to knife inside. And it's that left shoulder. Look and put that shoulder in there. He beats Havenstein into the backfield, and that's what we have been so accustomed to seeing J.J. Watt do on a consistent basis. And the fact that he's able to come out here and do that after what he's been through, and the fact that he's playing hard still with the situation that this game is in, is unbelievable.
Still in the game. Here's Matt Gay. As the quarter winds down. And we'll start the 4th with a field goal attempt. It's the Rams by 20. Quarter away from a trip to Tampa Bay. With John Parry, Lisa Salters, Brian Greasy, Louis Riddick, and our Monday Night Football family, Steve Levy, as we open up the 4th quarter and wrap up the last of the 6 games from the Super Wild Card weekend. The Rams have had their way with the Cardinals to this point, up by 20. On a rather imperfect weekend around the NFL. The kickers were perfect. Kickers made all 14 of their field goal attempts this wild card weekend. Here's Matt Gay. And just got it through. As we take a look at our easiest decision, brought to you by Capital One Bank.
Well, I wouldn't say that Matthew Stafford has been absolutely perfect, but he's been really close. He has done everything that Sean McVay has asked him to do. He's orchestrated the run game. When he's had to make plays in the passing game, he's identified coverage and found his playmakers. And listen, we talked coming into this game about all the pressure on Matthew Stafford and how would he respond. And yes, some things went his way. The ball bounced his way based on what the Cardinals did, but he still had to go out and execute. And this is something that he can build off. And this offense, when they run the football and use play action, really it's tough to stop.
I think you could make the argument that Stafford had more pressure on him than any starting quarterback in this wild card weekend.
Oh, sure. Everybody has always considered Matthew to be a great individual talent, but not someone who can really lead a football team to the promised land, beginning with just a simple playoff win, considering he was 0-3. Well, tonight it's just about efficiency, man, because now he's got a team around him that doesn't need just him to carry the load, and you see what the result is.
Right. Talked about it, the most passing touchdowns without a playoff win in NFL history, and it's Stafford, and it's not even close. With a win tonight, Stafford jumps off the page, and in terms of active quarterbacks, Andy Dalton would be next up. And again, that's a list you don't want to be on. Dalton, like A.J. Green, the years in Cincinnati. But how about the Bengals? Good for the people of Cincinnati. Yeah. We don't root, but 31 years in between playoff wins, and the Bengals got it going on. And they'll head to Nashville next weekend. Here's Kyler to throw. And complete. Christian Kirk. Ramsey. Stop. Game 7.
If you want to get back in this football game and you want to score a touchdown, I don't know if you want to challenge Jalen Ramsey one-on-one in this kind of situation. This is what I've been talking about the whole game, man. Like, picking and choosing exactly which guys you want to feature here and execute against the best matchups. I just don't think that's it.
2nd and 3. Nice design there. Down to Zach Ertz. And it's a first down. Pick up a 5. Here's Lisa.
Steve, Buda Baker is still back here in the hallway just outside of the Cardinals locker room, still strapped to the board on the stretcher. The ambulance just pulled up back here, and he's about to be loaded up onto it. He was responding to EMTs. The EMTs were asking him questions. He was answering. I did see him move his hands. He was trying to take his gloves off. When I get more information, I'll certainly pass it on.
Thank you, Lisa. Kyler's now hit his last 7 passes after starting 6 of 16. A little behind Kirk, but he's able to haul it in.
You know, Buda is not just one of the best players on this team and certainly one of the best on defense, but he is an emotional leader for this team. He means so much more than just what happens on the field, and so many of these players look up to him, and I think you saw that in the emotion of when a guy like that goes down. It affects everybody, not only on the team, the coaching staff, the organization, the ownership. He is a special young man, and all we can do is hope for the best for him.
First and 10 for Arizona. From their 48. You know, Benjamin roaring out of the backfield for 13.
You know, one of the things that the Rams have really benefited, the way that this game has played out. We thought coming in, this secondary was going to need to play Eric Weddle a bunch in this game, but he hasn't had to play hardly at all because they've been up so much in the game, and so they're putting their younger players, Terrell Burgess, in there along with Nick Scott and saving Eric Weddle.
They're not going to get Jordan Fuller back, but could get Taylor Rapp back. Here's Ertz, and Weddle gets the benefit of another week of practice, being around the team after being out of the league for 2 years.
Just watch here. Watch Zach Ertz just run this little in-cut behind the linebacker reader. This is exactly where they need to go. If they can get him going and get some drives going, look, who knows what can happen in this football game. It looks like it's over, but look, they're now being intentional with the matchups they're trying to exploit. You just wonder where this has been.
At the LA 27. Benjamin become the go-to guy. Back to Lisa.
See, Buda Baker, they just loaded him onto the ambulance that you can see in the hallway just outside of the Cardinals locker room. About to pull away to take him to a local hospital. Again, when I have more information, I'll pass it on.
Kyler off his back foot, wanted Kirk. Incomplete. Traven Howard made the stop. No Ernest Jones. Solid linebacker for the Rams. Real difference maker. Rookie out of South Carolina. Dealing with an ankle injury. They still hope to get him back if they can make a long run here.
And you gotta like how Traven Howard has played over the past couple of weeks, though, who just made that PBU. Real good coverage linebacker. Fast, aggressive, good hitter. Done a nice job for him.
Pressure. Murray unloads. Jump ball. And it's knocked away. Wanted Wesley. Dante Dion was back in the coverage. 4th down.
Well, I know Kyler Murray's trying to get it all back in one throw, but you still got to go through your reads. And right here, he's got Zach Ertz. This is where the ball should go. And maybe he gets a first down, but he's going to force the ball out to the outside to Wesley in a jump ball situation, and it was almost intercepted. Wesley's made some plays for Kyler Murray in the absence of DeAndre Hopkins. He's got great vertical, especially in the red zone. He's got 3 touchdowns on the season. And now they got a 4th down and 10 situation they got to have.
And DJ Humphries on the sideline. Josh Jones take his spot. Pressure coming. Murray trying to escape. And it is caught. There is a flag down, maybe. See how many flags? 2 flags. Kirk caught it. I think it's coming back for holding. Let's see. Kyler did a good job keeping that play going.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Holding number 61, that penalty's declined. Holding number 68, 10-yard penalty, it's 4th down.
How do they decide, John, which holding penalty to enforce?
You hope it's the bigger one.
I guarantee the offensive linemen care.
That's attached to their name.
Yeah. You see Beachum on the edge out here. Just grabs him and throws him to the ground. Rodney Hudson on the inside. But they've been under siege all night long. The Rams' pass rush has been just ferocious. Been a long night for the Cardinals offensive line and pass pro.
Here's Matt Prater. Terrific from 50 and beyond. This is from 55. He was 7 of 10 from beyond 50. A long-range kicker. Playoff record in the NFL is 58, by the way. On the way, and good. Cardinals trying to stay in this one. Down 20. Good look at the City of Angels. And tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Lights are bright in Las Vegas. They will be when the league's 88 best players face off the Pro Bowl in Vegas. 2022 Pro Bowl presented by Verizon on Sunday, February 6th at 3 Eastern. Buy your tickets today at ProBowl.com or watch the excitement on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Deportes. Speaking of the Pro Bowl, Cooper Kupp is on their way for the first and many more years to come, getting the Triple Crown. Winners since the 1970 merger, Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp, Steve Smith. And this season, Kupp becomes the 4th to lead the NFL in receptions, yards, and touchdowns in a single season.
Do thoroughbreds have long hair like that?
You're not going to talk about the horses?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The thoroughbred doesn't have long hair like that.
I'm going to talk about the player on that screen right there on that cartoon.
Yeah.
Those are some bad dudes right there. Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp, Steve Smith. That's great company.
And they just introduced Eric Dickerson to the crowd here in Los Angeles.
Stud.
One of the all-time greats. Here's Cam Akers. Rashard Lawrence make the tackle for Arizona. And there he is, the Pro Football Hall of Famer. Had the neck brace and the glasses going.
But it was all perfect. It all looked perfect. And he ran like water, man. It was so smooth.
Try to tackle him, it's all knees in the face.
Goodness. Just beautiful. I remember when he was at SMU and Pitt played him in the Cotton Bowl when they had him and they had the Pony Express. Yep. Craig James, Eric Dickerson. As good as it gets.
2nd and 9. Stafford's not done throwing. Set it up for Akers. Makes one man miss down the sideline. Dennis Gardick is still reaching for him. The flag comes in. It's 13 if it stands.
Holding, offense number 63. Penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
And it doesn't.
Yeah, Austin Corbett was tied up with Peters, the defensive tackle. Yep. It was almost a tackle.
The offensive linemen like to do that sometimes. Get you stood up and then yank you down, throw you on the ground, try and send you a little bit of a message.
Two to snap it. Just got it away. Here's Akers, trying to give him some breathing room, lowers the shoulder. And he's out beyond the 13-yard line. Again, Akers had that torn Achilles in July, and so much talk about NFL players and their doctors. Dr. Elitrosh gets all the credit for Akers and his rehab. Elitrosh described getting the torn Achilles back together is like stitching together the ends of two mops.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That's a heck of a visual, isn't it?
Right?
Oh, my God.
Elitrosh worked on Tom Brady, worked on the great Kobe Bryant here in Los Angeles as well.
Well, he did a fantastic job with Cam Akers, and Cam Akers just took it from there. I'm just telling you, he's inspirational doing what he's doing here tonight.
Flag comes in, and Stafford still fighting. He wanted that free play. Wondering why they blew it dead. 8 minutes to go. It's been a weekend, a long weekend of these kind of conversations.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 55. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Lisa Salters.
Steve, the Cardinals just tweeted out an update on Budda Baker. They say that he's being evaluated for a concussion. Obviously, he will not return to this game. But the good news is that they say he did have movement and feeling in all of his extremities as he left the field. Steve.
Yeah, that last part is terrific to hear. Budda Baker, one of 31 Arizona Cardinals on their active roster, making their playoff debut here tonight. Third down and 3. Stafford still in there scrapping. Cards rush 5. There's Cooper Kupp up the middle. Kupp trying to break away. 4th catch of the night. Good for 29.
And just watch the release. Look, if you're sitting outside leverage and you don't have someone who's that second-level robber who can help you in the intermediate routes like this where the ball is caught, he's going to catch it and just run away from you. You see Isaiah Simmons come in there late.
That was the secondary player.
But he was just too slow, just too late with it. Cooper's too good. Matthews too good. They're going to read that too quickly. It's been the story of the night.
Akers for 3. Cooper Kupp, most receptions in a single season. Trails only Michael Thomas in that department. And only Calvin Johnson. What they have in common, It's Matthew Stafford.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I mean, for Matthew Stafford to be a part of those two, really cool. And we talked with Matthew a little bit about it this week. He said there's such different players, and they were both great and impacted the game in so many different ways. I've been most impressed learning more about Cooper Kupp and the way that he approaches playing the game of football. And it's not just about catches, but learning how to block in the running game and the details of that, continuing to do this.
And still fighting for more yardage around Gardick for 16.
There is no receiver in the National Football League that has a better understanding of defenses, feel, leverage. I mean, he's almost impossible to cover.
I mean, you realize he almost has 1,000 yards after the catch this year. And since he's come into the league, 2,500 plus yards after the catch. And that's one of the things Vance Joseph talked about. He doesn't get enough credit for his strength, his play strength. And you see it right there. You arm tackle him, he's out of there. This is a guy who's like blocking defensive ends and linebackers in their run game.
Talk about strength.
You can't do that.
Sean McVay's using him basically as an extra tight end at times when he's lined up on the end of line of scrimmage, and he holds his own.
Sony Michel for a few. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in attendance here tonight, sitting amongst Curtis Martin, Torrey Holt. We'll talk about Rams royalty, Jackie Slater.
I was about to say, don't forget Big Jackie.
No.
Hey, that right there, that's royalty all right there.
One of the great tackles in history.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, speaking of the Rams, I guarantee you there are some Ram fans saying, hey, get Cooper Kupp out of this game.
Yeah.
There's 5 minutes left here. You're up 20 and you've got the ball.
Look, he's still out here coaching Odell Beckham up, telling him that right here.
In there, right? At some point, you're thinking about, hey, we got to get ready for Tampa Bay next Sunday. I'm sure Tampa Bay has been working on Los Angeles for a long time already. Certainly here tonight. Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, we won't mention where he went to school.
Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Never a shortage of A-listers like Jay-Z here in Los Angeles.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
In this beautiful building. We'll be back in 15 seconds after this word from Subway.
Subway has so much new, it didn't fit in the last ad. Like the new app with customization, curbside pickup, and delivery. There's so much new, we don't even have time to show you who's holding his phone.
I bet you don't treat Brady this way. Come on, man.
You clearly haven't seen the other ad. It's the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway.
4.5 to play, fourth quarter. It's only a 6-hour drive from here to Arizona, but that'll be a short flight. That's a long flight for these Arizona Cardinals. 8-1 on the road this season. Season that started out so promising at 7-0. Stumbled down the stretch. Couldn't flip the switch when they needed to here tonight either.
And it's not the first year that they've stumbled down. Last year they stumbled as well. That's something that will be priority number one for Cliff Kingsbury in the offseason.
On 3rd and 9. Stafford looking to get out of there. He's not done yet. He wanted that line to gain.
How about that move?
Got 6. 4th down.
Spun out of there, and he's like, hey, man, Kyler Murray can do this. I'm gonna take it. And he's been watching Tom Brady, too. You know, Tom's had a couple of times this year where he's gotten out of there and high-stepped. And he's like, he put his hand up like, where's everybody?
And the Rams have taken nearly 6 minutes off the clock on this drive. Cardinals took a timeout. On the Thursday night before Super Bowl 56, the NFL's brightest stars will be recognized for the best plays and moments from this 2021 season. Tune into the NFL Honors Show on Thursday, February the 10th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ABC, ESPN Plus, and NFL Network. And Matt Gay is on to attempt a 46-yard field goal. And will add to the Los Angeles lead. Voices and activists of the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King Jr. championed justice for all. Be love, end hate. The immortal words of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. This is really cool, illuminated on top of SoFi Stadium. His momentous decree delivered from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial during the March on Washington, August 28, 1963, calling for civil and economic rights and an end to racism in the United States.
That was really a great message, man. A great message. The normalization, just a normalization of equality.
Yep.
That's what we're after. Judge people on their credibility and their competency.
Here's Kyler. That's Benjamin.
Speaking of competency, there's a couple of assistant coaches in this game that need a little bit more attention for head jobs. And Vance Joseph, in my opinion, yeah, he had that opportunity in Denver, and it didn't go the way he wanted it. But certainly he's going to have some opportunities. I think he's got an interview coming up with Miami. And Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris is an unbelievable football coach and could be an unbelievable leader of men, understands how to motivate and manage, and he deserves another shot too.
Kyler across the middle wanted Christian Kirk, and Howard there to break it up.
Well, Raheem has that, that unique ability to galvanize players and to talk to players and to get the best out of them and the energy out of them. He was so young when he got that head job in Tampa, and he told us, listen, I wasn't quite ready. He did the best he could, but he's worked at the craft over time. He's coached on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. He's even coached special teams with Rich Bisaccia when they were in Tampa together. So he's like, I can coach from the quarterback all the way down to the kicker, any one of those players.
Murray throwing, and that's important to be able to relate to all of your players.
Look, I think it's important for the people who are doing the hiring to make sure they dig in on the details of these individuals. Guys like Raheem Morris, guys like Vance Joseph, guys like Eric Bieniemy, Todd Bowles, Leslie Frazier. Really dig in on the details of these individuals and then educate yourself as to making sure that you know when you are hearing the kind of things that really should resonate with you in terms of, should I hire this guy or not? That's what you really have to really focus on, the people who are doing the hirings, because there's some great coaches out there. There's some great minority coaches out there. And we have two of them in this game.
And there are plenty of opportunities. A quarter of the league is in search of a new head coach.
I can't wait to watch that matchup. Speaking of Raheem Morris, him against...
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Him against Byron Leftwich next week. Another guy, another coach, a young coach that is going to get some opportunities, an unbelievable coach. That matchup between those two guys will be fun to watch.
Byron's worried about his starting right tackle, Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, he is.
Got a right ankle sprain, played just 7 snaps over the weekend.
And Tom Brady took some vicious hits in that game against the Eagles, especially coming off of his throwing arm side. They definitely need to make sure they shore that up and get Tristan as healthy as they possibly can.
3rd and 15. Murray throwing. It's Kirk with a short gain. Dion forced him out. Gain of 6. Ryan Jensen, also the starting center for the Bucs, left ankle sprain, didn't miss a snap. Bruce Arians saying that they'll probably go all the way till Friday before they know anything about those two offensive linemen.
Tommy, listen, Tommy's watching this game right now, and he's in back of his head, he's like, those guys got me earlier in the year. They beat us 34-24 in week 3, and I'm looking for my revenge.
Time now for our expert play, brought to you by Intuit TurboTax Live. And this Rams defense that Tom Brady will be facing next weekend.
Yeah, well, here you're talking about 2 Hall of Famers in Aaron Donald, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller, one of the best pass rushers that this game has ever seen. And they have made their presence felt, as have the rest of this Rams defensive front. And you see, when the pass rush and coverage go together, it usually turns out to be beautiful, beautiful, sweet music. Aaron Donald's over there on the sideline right now cheering on the guys on the field. And I've been a part of games where you have these kind of defensive performances and team performances. You see the looks on their faces. It's contentment for now, knowing that you get to play another week and that the season isn't over. And that's a beautiful feeling.
Up 23. Stafford still in the game. Kupp still in the game, and Sony Michel still carrying the football.
Well, and they got to feel pretty confident, too. I mean, I know that last week was a hard week for these Rams, getting beat by the 49ers. But they got to feel confident knowing, listen, they've already played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they beat them. Now, that was a different Bucs team. I'll give you that. Granted, that was a team that did not run the football well in that game. In fact, they only had 35 yards rushing in that game. Tom Brady was the leading rusher in the game. That's how bad it was. And despite the fact no Fournette and no Rojo yesterday, they got contributions from Keyshawn Vaughn and Giovanni Bernard, and they ran the football, and that's what they're going to need to do next week against these Rams.
So that's a different Bucs team. This is a very different Rams team, too. Odell Beckham Jr., Von Miller. Here's the Week 3 matchup, the quarterback comparison. Tom put it up 55 times, and the Rams able to get the 10-point victory. Those two will hook up again Sunday in the early afternoon window in the divisional playoffs. 2-minute warning here in Los Angeles.
I'm Scott Van Pelt. Coming up in the Super Wildcard postgame presented by Abbott Full Highlights. Live reaction here for both teams. Ryan Clark ready to break down a key contributor in this game. Now, one last time, Steve Levy, back to you. Been a pleasure watching and listening to you all work all year long. Well done.
Thank you, Scott. We'll see you back on the studio side in just a little bit. Scott Van Pelt's Sports Center coming up when this one is done. 2-minute warning. Stafford still out there. And that's cup bottom of your screen. On the ground, that's Jake Funk. So happy for Matthew Stafford. He talked about going to the playoffs with the Lions those 3 times. In 2016, he said they came in really banged up, limped into the playoffs. In 2014, he thought the Lions had a really good chance.
Yep.
Bad call went their way in Dallas, but it's still a loss, and the quarterback wears those. And so Matthew Stafford will finally excuse himself from that page and pick up his first playoff win.
Yeah, so he gets his first playoff win, and then what does he get? He gets to go face the guy that just got his 35th playoff win.
Yep.
But you know what? Look, if you're Matthew Stafford, you love the fact that Sean McVay made a big bet on you. A big bet that you could take a football team, that your individual skills and your leadership could really take a football team to the next level, that you could be the missing ingredient, which after all those years in Detroit and people saying Matthew Stafford can't raise the level of everyone else around him, he can't carry a football team, he's not good enough, he's overrated, he's just a stats guy. That's got to be a good feeling, and he's rewarding him so far.
Right.
It's one down. Now he gets to go up against the GOAT. That's a big-time challenge. And it gets a defense that's pretty ferocious.
If you get that done, like, I don't want to hear any more of the storylines, you know, like these things that we create. Like, this is a good football player, and he's now getting the opportunity to play as a part of a good team, and I'm happy for him.
Should give some credit to Les Snead, the general manager of the Rams as well.
Absolutely.
Remember, we talked to him earlier in the season. So they're going to trade for the 2 first-round, the 2 number-1 picks, first-round picks. Had to throw in a sweetener of a third-round pick, and he's like, I really didn't want to do it, but I'm thinking, you know what? What am I going to get with that third-round pick? Is the guard that I take in the next draft in the 3rd round, is he going to help me win quicker than Matthew Stafford? I don't think so. And so he deserves a lot of credit. Les Snead, we opened the show with it. No team has gone more all in to win this season than these Los Angeles Rams, and they appear to be on their way.
And you saw one of the other guys who flashed across the screen just a couple seconds ago, and Odell Beckham Jr. That's another guy that people thought he's a guy who takes away from your football team. You can't win with a guy like this.
Colt McCoy is in there now, placing Kyler Murray. That's Eno Benjamin.
Yeah, we're going to find out a lot more about the Rams this next week. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals came in here, and they were a talented team, and if they played their best, this was going to be a close game. But the Arizona Cardinals imploded here in their first playoff game with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. There's no way to sugarcoat that.
Yeah.
And so did we find out about the resolve of the Los Angeles Rams today? No, I don't think so. But we're going to find out a lot about them because they've given themselves the opportunity now to go to the next stage of the tournament.
But I just want to finish this point about Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
This guy has taken off, and he has the backing of some people here, namely his quarterback, who says he's one of the most intelligent football players he's ever been around, and his play over the past couple of weeks speaks for itself.
Rams had no turnovers, allowed just 1 sack, 35 and a half minutes time of possession. And these Los Angeles Rams travel clear across the country. And they'll visit Tampa in the early window next Sunday in the divisional playoffs, 3 p.m. Eastern, over on NBC. Super wild card weekend comes to an end. And Matthew Stafford gets that elusive first career playoff win. Don't miss the 2022 Pro Bowl, Sunday, February 6th, 3 Eastern on ESPN and ABC. The NFL Super Wild Card postgame presented by Abbott. It's coming up next here on ESPN. Our producer, Phil Dean, Jimmy Platt, our director, leaders of Monday Night Football in every way possible. Thanks all for a great season. Stay tuned for Scott Van Pelt. So long from Los Angeles.